everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Hallmark Carpentry, a podcast all about Hallmark movies. And today I am joined by actor of many movies, Brendon Zub. You guys might know him from movies such as Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater, Time for Them to Come Home for Christmas, Made for You with Love, and just recently, newly released mystery series, Cut, Color, and Murder.
That's right.
First of all, that was like my very first time watching any mysteries.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I've never seen any of them. I was like not really a, how do I say this? It's not that I'm not a fan of mysteries stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just never attracted me to it. And by the time I was like, okay, let's try this out, I was like, but they've already did 20 of them. So is it too late to start?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, Aurora Tea Garden has been on for a while. And, but I got to get on that show with Candace Cameron Bure a couple of years ago, just before COVID, but I was unfamiliar too. I had to watch a couple to get an idea. So I've been stuck in the Christmas romance, Valentine's kind of world, which is a good place to be stuck.
Yeah, I mean, you've done several Hallmark movies as well as several Hallmark adjacent.
Yeah, kind of like, Lifetime kind of Christmas romances. They started to do the thing Hallmark did. I did one with Vanessa Lachey. She's actually in Hawaii doing her show right now.
Yep, at CIS Hawaii.
CIS Hawaii, and so we became good friends on
maybe you could get her to ask to have you on the show. Be like,
yeah. Well, we messaged earlier. I was like, hey, how about I pitch an idea of a Canadian coming down to Hawaii and have some kind of love triangle down there. It'd be great to go to Hawaii again.
Oh,
I actually have an uncle who lives in Maui. So,
oh wow.
So it's always good to get out there.
I mean, it's cold in Canada. I would imagine the tropics is kind of calling for you right now.
Yeah. It's been a cold one. It's been a cold one this Christmas, but
I don't even. It's been a while since I've been around snow, so I don't even remember. I don't even know if I would like survive it.
It's not all that bad. It sounds worse when you're in beautiful tropical climates, but it's fine.
Well, what other?
We get a white Christmas, which is nice.
Yeah, that is true. I do wish that we had the white Christmas here. If I could have snow without the cold, that would be perfect.
Well, it's kind of like what we have here in Calgary right now. I'm at my parents' place, and it got to freezing, well past freezing over Christmas, but then it warmed up. So and we still got a little snow on the ground. So, but things are melting. So
I do want to know though, like about what, like, if introduce yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, sure. Well, hello everybody, all the people on the podcast. Pleasure to be on board. My name, as she said, is Brendon Zub. Actually, my last name is Zub. It's an odd pronounced name, but it's from Ukrainian descent. My grandfather means tooth in Russian. So really? I'm not sure if our ancestors were dentists or not, but but yeah, my father, my grandma is from Hungary, and my grandfather came from Ukraine, and they fled World War II and met in Canada, and that's where my father was born. And then when he moved out west to BC, British Columbia, that's where I was born. And so I kind of grew up my first early years in Western Canada, but eventually moved back to Europe when I was 9-10 years old as missionary family.
Is Zub short for something? Or
well,
was that what your family came with, the Zub?
No, it's what we think it came with. We found a couple of Zubs in Europe when we were there. But usually, you're right. Usually it's a shortened abbreviation version of Zub, the Zubov, Zub, whatever.
Zubchovsky or something.
Yeah, something like that. But there are Zubs. There's actually a Zub hockey player in the NHL in Ottawa right now. So not sure how we're related, but yeah, that's the kind of the origins of our name. And on my mom's side of things, they're also from Europe, more Danish, Irish, Scottish, but hence the Brendon and then the Zub. But yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, were they escaping because of the Nazis? You said that during World War II.
Well, yeah, my grandma was in Hungary, and Hungary became, during that whole fiasco, became occupied by Russia eventually. And my grandfather from the Ukraine, they were in Hungary. They eventually fled World War II. I'm not sure if during World War II or just before or after, but they emigrated to Canada and met up and fell in love, and that's where my father. Yeah,
and your father did you?
Yeah, my father grew up in Toronto area. So, but we grew up in the West. My dad became a pastor of a church and out there, and then we went back to Hungary as missionaries. So full circle there and back again. He wanted to minister back in Eastern Europe. So
you know what's hilarious is that I always confused you with another actor, Carlo Marx.
Carlo Marx.
Okay. Which I know is just weird because seeing you now, you don't look like him. But I always when I see you in some of your movies, I was like, is that Carlo or is that the other actor? And then I Google him but Carlo is Italian, so you're not even Italian.
No, but I got some Eastern European, Scottish, but I get it. I could see a little bit of it. I get a lot of Alex O'Loughlin from Hawaii Five-0.
I don't see Alex.
Yeah, you have to. Well, it depends on the look, but I get a lot of that. It depends on my haircut and everything. Maybe sometimes a little bit of Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, which is not bad comparisons, I guess.
No, it's not a bad comparison at all. So like I said, you've worked with Hallmark several times before. Can we talk about some of the roles? Like as you did just last year, Time for Them to Come Home for Christmas. Mm-hmm. You played with Lisa DeRue, her husband, so Jesse Schramm and Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, and Brendon. We were surprised.
Did I just say that his name wrong, Brendan?
You're Brendan Penny.
Penny Fraser is a whole other.
Yeah, that's a different Brendan. Yeah, Brendan Penny. We were kind of laughing because we all got along very well. Jesse Schramm's a doll. We had a great time together, and Brendan and I hit it off. He a few years older than me, but we felt like brothers. We actually were. I was joking because every time on set, they're like, "Oh, Brendan, come over here." We both show up.
Yes.
Like, come over here. And then I was like, well, I mean, you're the lead of the show, this one. Like, do you want me to go by my middle name? He's like, what's your name? I'm like, James. He's like, that's my middle name. So we couldn't go by that. So
well, you could have just gone by your last names.
Yeah.
Zub.
Exactly. We just went by that. Penny, Zub. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Nice little role. I was actually in Montreal shooting a Valentine's Day rom-com, which will air sometime this month, lead role, and called Be Mine Valentine. That'll be out sometime. But I got the audition for this while I was there. And so I had audition in my hotel room, and my good friend, actually Peter Benson, who you probably know before, he directed it. So it was a big, fun, friendly atmosphere, knowing most everybody in the cast, even April Telek, I think, was in it. Yeah. And she was in Cut Color Murder. We've been in several movies together. So
yeah. When I was watching Cut Color Murder, I was thinking to myself, like, a lot of the supporting actors in several movies that I've watched are in this series. You got
they always hire us from Vancouver. Yeah, and then some of us get on leads and things like that, and but it's a nice atmosphere, friendly environment, and
And the other movie that you did, again, you did Christmas movies for Hallmark, which was Never Kiss a Man in Christmas Weather, which was with Niall Matter and Ashley Williams.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That movie was a comedy.
Yeah, not Niall. Yeah, it was a good one.
You played Niall's brother, right?
I played his colleague, his best friend at work.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
we often sometimes like, oh, you similar look. Yeah, for that one we played brother, or I think we played brothers, and we were an Aurora Tea Garden. I met him on Aurora Tea Garden because I played his best friend colleague who sets up on a blind date. But yeah, we worked together for a couple times, and he's become a good friend. But yeah, that was a fun one. That was, let's see, we shot that I think a year and a bit ago, year and a half ago. So
I just love the comedy in that one. And it's not so much romance, but just like funny bits.
The silliness of the falling and the sweaters and the
yes, and just the craziness of it, and how you guys you and your wife in the movie were trying to force Niall to do all the stuff, and he was like not willing to do it,
not having it whatsoever.
And your son also was like, the son in the movie was also cute. But yeah, it was, I just love those kind of roles where it's not just romance and lovey-dovey storylines, but actually comedy and stuff. But let's talk Cut Color Murder.
Okay.
You played Sterling. And I gotta tell you, 2/3 of the movie, I honestly thought you were the murderer.
Oh, good. I did a good job.
Especially when they found your compost.
Yeah, my fertilizer.
Yes,
fertilizer.
On the dress or whatever. Like when they, okay, I don't know if this is like a regular thing for mysteries in Hallmark, but I felt like Julie's character was doing way too much for somebody who's not even a cop. I'm like, girl, can you like leave it to the professional?
Yeah.
Either leave it to the professionals or join the police academy and become a cop, because
yeah, well, they established that kind of rapport with the old timer and her husband who passed away, and so you could see where that kind of back. But they kind of have to keep things interesting. All those kind of Hallmark mysteries, they have those sleuths and detectives that are like, how are they getting away with getting involved so much?
I know, and not just that, but I was just sitting there going, are you stupid? Why are you going into this abandoned building by yourself?
I know, like, bad idea. In every horror movie, same thing.
Exactly. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, there's that humor there, and yeah. Julie was great to work with. She's a lot of fun, and actually worked with her other half in a lot of movies, Hearts of Christmas.
Winter
Princess, and and heart whatever. But yeah, so we're all connected. So we're all kind of.
Is this your first time working with Julie and Ryan?
It is. It's the first time. Like, I knew of her through Chris McNally, but never worked together. So it was nice to finally work with both of them, and they've been up in Canada during the lockdowns and stuff like that, and he's of course shooting Heartland, all that kind of stuff, all those shows. So but yeah, it was my first time working with Ryan McPartlin as well. So yeah.
I have to say, this was a really good mystery. I liked it because all of the characters had their own quirks and their own stories, and you are sitting there going like, they're a little crazy, but they might be capable of doing it.
Yeah, everybody has to have that little bit of something. Like when I was performing, and even sometimes like, well, maybe I'm going to be the killer. But at the same time, you kind of look back at the way our scenes together, it could be like, oh, I'm very interested in her, or I really want to get rid of her. And it was hugging that line between interest and love and creepy at the same time. But I watched it with my parents last night for the first time, and they it was fun seeing them guessing. They thought oh, you're the murderer, and then, oh no, now it's the director's the murderer. Oh, maybe it's this guy. So it was interesting seeing who they thought was the murderer throughout the movie.
Yeah, I've actually felt bad for you the most when you asked her. So
Yeah.
when you like invited me for a drink, did you do it because you liked me or because you were a suspect? And you were suspicious of me, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, poor guy."
She used me. You women, oh my goodness, sometimes pulling the heartstrings. But I think it sets up a lot for the continuation of the series. You know, it's a pilot episode. It establishes a lot of mystery with the romance of the two leads, as well as, you know, what's going on there at the end. And
yeah, like what the heck?
I'm still the town landscaper, flower gardener hunk. So we'll see what happens.
I have to say, I put that on my notes when you invited her to like a cabin in the woods. I was thinking to myself, like, red flags. This is what
but they were red flowers. There were red flowers there.
Like, beautiful, this is a guy who could like literally dig you up a grave in the cabin in the woods.
Make you disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen enough Criminal Minds to know.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, would you like to play one day like the bad guy, the one who actually did the murder?
Oh yes, it would be very, very fun. Oftentimes I'm just the suspect or the squeaky clean guy who maybe it. Like I was a couple suspects in other ones, but usually I'm not. But I have played some bad guy characters in the past. I played did different networks, different shows, but on Imposters with Uma Thurman, I kind of hit on her. I was a drunken guy at a bar. I wasn't being too nice, and different characters like on the 100. I was a grounder who didn't make it in the end. But I've got to play a variety of roles, and they've been a lot of fun. A lot of detectives though lately, and you know, suspects. But that's always good. It's always good.
See, that would be a twist if you could be the detective that
murders people.
Exactly.
Kind of like Dexter, but you know, a slight twist to it.
Yeah, I mean, talk about Criminal Minds. Shoot, too bad.
Yeah,
they do have a Criminal Minds reboot coming up. I'm a big Criminal Minds person, so I can talk to you about like. That's why I said on the podcast, I was like, Julie's character is sort of like a profiler from the Criminal Minds. She can tell you what you're wearing, who did what, and stuff like that. But anyway,
yeah, she was a bit Julie. Her character was a bit Sherlocky because she could tell things from people in that first scene and pick up things, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, she figured out Ryan's character was single based on the fact that he waxed his eyebrows.
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of funny. Maybe some of it's a guess, but close to hits the mark. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope people really liked it. I'm not sure what the response is, but I'm not on Twitter, but I'm hoping that it gets picked up for some more episodes, series next year. So
yeah,
Ryan McPartlin wrote it and came up with it with some other writers, and so I'm hoping for good things for him.
I wonder how they're going to continue though. If it can't be a pageant murder again.
No, but hey, it's a town. There's other venues. Who knows? A lot of people go through that barbershop, that hair salon. So we'll see. Right? We'll see what happens. And it looks like it's set up for something to do with Ryan's character's background and how is he involved in her past husband's death, perhaps. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of fun. And usually shows like that romance is slow to build and see where it goes. So
Maybe Sterling would have another chance with Allie later.
Maybe if she's mad at him, maybe I'll have like a jealous rebound date or something. Or keep people guessing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they come up with.
Do you write your own? Have you ever written a script or like done any of that stuff or ever thought about?
I haven't. I've thought about it, but right now I've been so busy auditioning and filming movies and shows that it's taking up most of my time. And when things are slow, sometimes I can get a bit creative, but often my creative aspect of me, if it's not in acting, it comes out in the carpentry or renovations. I'm also a licensed carpenter.
Ooh.
I've been doing that. So handy in acting, handy man. So I like using my hands.
Do you do your own furniture or is it like just
no? I kind of do.
Kind of
I kind of do like the home renovations, like full renovations. I can build houses, stairs, pretty much everything. I do a renovation. Bathroom, kitchen renovations. I have one when I get back to Vancouver. In between my auditions and movies, I'll be doing a bathroom rental for a friend of mine, and it keeps me. It's fun. It's a different kind of creative pursuit, and it's something I love doing. And
yeah, I feel like a lot of people with that creative juices, they need like different outlets to get that creativeness out of them.
Well, and that's how I made my living for the first several years of acting. I during college, I was worked at a pizza joint, but I got into carpentry, just working with my hands. I liked it. And then when I moved to Vancouver for film school, instead of being the typical actor, bartender, waiter, I just kept the trade and built houses and learned my trade. And I just went from, it was very hard because I'd get a job. I have an audition tomorrow at 1:00. I have to take a long lunch, and I'd go change in the client's bathroom, get my suit and tie, go be the FBI guy, and then go back, put my Carhartts and hard hat on and continue working. So I juggled that for a while over the last 15, 16 years until acting took over and became my primary job 5 years ago with, I think after my first lead movie, Christmas Calendar with Laura Bell Bundy, I kind of helped launch me into the lead kind of role atmosphere. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like Laura Bell Bundy. She's a what's it called? Broadway star.
Yeah, Broadway star. It was so much fun working with her.
I watched her on Guiding Light too when she was play back in the soap.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
way back then.
Yeah, that was my first big lead role with her, and she was so much fun to work with and easy too, and yeah. So it's been nice. I've been very fortunate with great leading ladies, great cast. Never had really a bad experience on set. You always hear of stories of divas and everything, but I haven't really come across many, and it's been a blessing, a great career for me. Something I keep on hoping to, get more and more. Hopefully, maybe get my own Hallmark series or another lead Christmas romance role one day. But we'll see what's on the corner.
You never know.
Never know.
Who would you like to work with that you haven't worked with yet? Like, if you had your dream co-star, who would it be?
Dream, like anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Those two pop up. Tom Hanks. If he was still alive, my favorite actor growing up with was Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life and all that. I grew up watching the old classic movies, and I fell in love with acting in Europe because it was the only English speaking channel we had. Right. And so I grew up with the old classics, and I kind of got into that way. But yeah, it would be nice to work with or cross paths with them one day. It would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, I would love to see people, like I would love to see other actors who you normally don't see on Hallmark or whatever come on Hallmark and try it out. We did that this past Christmas with like Terry Hatcher, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson and that kind of thing. So that would be cool if like other people like Tom Hanks. Could you imagine if Tom Hanks does a Christmas movie, a Hallmark movie?
Yeah, maybe not, but you know,
You
we'll
never
see what
know.
happens. Hallmark gets some big people now and then, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you got any few? I know you have one coming up. You said you have a Valentine's movie coming up.
I have
You
a
know what?
Valentine's movie coming. I'm not sure which network it's out yet. I think they're shopping it in the States right now. It might air in Canada first, but it's called Be Mine Valentine. And
Who is it starring? You and
it's me and another Canadian actress, Caitlin Lieb. She's a lot in a lot of the American shows as well. Caitlin, she's a wonderful actress. I think she's done more independent stuff, but I'm pretty sure she's done some Hallmark. Yeah, she's fantastic. She was in Heartland. She was on different series and The Wedding Planners and Romance in the Wild and Christmas in the Wilds and all that kind of stuff. So Caitlin Lieb's the lead actress, and she's just wonderful to work with. So,
you got any other projects that you want to talk about coming up?
Well, that's the one immediate Cut Color that aired the other day, and
it's coming to Canada next week.
Be Mine Valentine. Oh, they just got the poster just came out. It looks great. People have to check it. But yeah, so that's the next movie, and then I've just auditioned for a couple other lead roles, another Hallmark movie and another rom-com. So we'll see if I hear anything. But yeah,
good
keep
luck.
plugging.
Shit.
Thank you. I wish you the best with everything.
Thank you so much, and thank you for sitting down and talking to me. I am really grateful for it. I hope you guys do more Cut Color Murder so I can do more podcasting about that one.
I hope so too.
It was good. I have to say, it was really, really good. I mean, it's my first one, so I don't know if screaming at the TV going like, what are you doing? Why are you going in there? Is a normal thing.
Right.
Are you serious? Oh, what happens? But yeah, and then also I can't believe that, what's her name? Julie's character escaped a burning building. But I'm sorry, y'all. You should have taken that girl to the hospital.
Yeah, I know. She just quickly gets back. Well, you know, the magic of movies, right? And she was unharmed.
Smoke inhalation, okay? I've seen enough Grey's Anatomy to know you need to go get your lungs checked.
Right. Maybe you should get into movies then too. And,
your sister winning the pageant could wait.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But anyway, thank you so much for talking to me.
It was my pleasure, Camille, and wish you the best and a happy new year.
You too. See ya.
All right.